Awesome. Looks like we are live.
Yes, sir, we are.
Welcome everyone to your favorite day of the weekend, ours as well. It's Saturday morning, and it's time for take it away, Chris.
Metalheads Unite. Yes, sir. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning.
Uh,
Welcome into another episode of Metalheads Unite. I am Chris, and Jason is over there on the other side of your screen there. Welcome to another live episode. How is everyone this morning and today, wherever you're listening to us from?
Today, tonight, wherever you are. Either
Today,
you're
tonight,
winding,
tomorrow,
whether you're
next
winding
week.
down or getting started with your day, we appreciate it either way. So,
Yes, sir. We appreciate everybody coming by.
all right, let's see here. Oh,
How
there's
was how
something.
was your week this week, Jason?
It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad at all. Little I had to do a couple different roles at work, so that was good to not be in the same stagnant, thing throughout the week. So that was pretty good. And then I did a little golfing on Thursday, which I haven't done in a couple of years, so I suffered from that all day yesterday. So yeah, though
little
they let me,
sore, are you?
yeah, let me know those shoulder wasn't as strong as it used to be. So,
Right. Yeah.
uh, but
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
got a little burnt too. So so if I go again, I'm
Oh,
probably gonna wait till
did you?
yeah, I'm probably gonna wait till it cools down a little before I go back. So, just
Yeah, I
having
always liked. I always preferred playing golf in like March and October.
yeah, exactly, yeah. So
Yeah.
I had a couple of friends of mine that were looking for a fourth, and they've been bugging me for a while, and I'm just like, all right, fuck it, let's do it.
All right, I gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
So,
All right.
um,
So what
there
are we working
was
with? What are we working with today as far as current events news? What do we got going on?
well, I don't know. That's kind of there was something important I was wanting to put out there, and I can't remember. Oh, yeah, that's right. If you did miss the announcement on Thursday night's show, Polita Shock, um,
That's right.
the platform is being picked up by Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. So we're not only going to be on your radio, we're actually going to be on your TV. And as far as, or as I understand it, it's going to be kind of on demand. So um, you can
Mm-hmm.
catch us. If you miss something, you can go back and watch it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're gonna be everywhere before too
Yeah.
long.
So
You're not gonna be able to get away from us at all. So good luck with that.
right. But
You
so
can try to
we
run, but you won't be able to hide from Metalheads Unite.
right. And it's cool because like every show on the platform has gotten getting that opportunity to move on over. So
Oh yeah.
that's gonna be it's gonna be big stuff, man. I can't wait. We're gonna be going into another what did he say, almost 50 million homes. So
Yep. Yep. He said we're going to be available to up to 50 million streamers
yeah,
um, all over the world, basically.
that's awesome.
So yeah, it's going to be pretty crazy. And I guess that, what do you say? He said the rollout's going to be taking place, what do you say? August, I guess. So within the
Yeah,
next
I think he
four
said
weeks,
somewhere. Yeah, I think he said somewhere around the end of August. So
yeah. So we're definitely looking forward to that. It's a great opportunity for everybody at the VOP network. But we're happy to be a part of that, and we're definitely looking forward to it. And I hope all the metalheads out there that have been listening to us continue to listen to us, and hopefully any metalheads out there who haven't found us yet will be able to do that.
yeah, exactly. Uh, but yeah, so it's big stuff coming. Like I think he said we're already on like what 106 platforms, and we're going to expand to 142 when this
Yeah,
is all said and done.
yeah,
So man, that's a big deal. So uh,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so
It's gonna be
every
fun.
like you didn't have enough options. Now we're going to give you more.
That's right.
Oh
That's
man.
absolutely right.
All right, so we got that exciting news out of the way, and
Yeah.
I guess I should ask. I mean, I know I didn't think 6 months ago when we started this we would have this kind of opportunity. So um, it's really
Oh no,
it's really kind of
absolutely
it,
not.
it really kind of caught me off guard a little to be like, hey, we're going. I was like, oh shit, that's big.
Yeah, that
uh,
was kind of it was, when Truly got us on the phone, last week or whenever it was, and told us about what was coming before, when she was like, "Hey, keep it under your hat, but this is what
right,
we got going on." It was kind of surreal being on the phone with her and having her tell us all that. It kind of didn't really sink in for a little bit, realizing the scope of what was about to happen to us and everything. Like you said, because we've just been in, like I mentioned the other night on Dan's show, Politishock, when he allowed me to take part in that, which was cool, and I and letting me do that. But when I was talking about the other night, you and I, we've just been doing this since the beginning of this year.
hmm
So this is only we're only 7.5 months into this thing. Dan's been doing this since 2007 or 2008. I think is when he said he first started doing actual episodes. So, he's been doing this, 12, 13 years, and we've been doing it 7 months. Yet, he allowed us to come over to the platform, and he's basically letting us, come along for the ride with this thing that's about to happen. And it really has been a whirlwind, but it's kind of where we wanted to get to, you and I, when we first started talking
right,
about this, the whole internet radio thing. And then, we decided to just basically start off with just a podcast. But I mean, this thing has just grown by leaps and bounds, and where we wanted it to be just a hell of a lot faster than we ever thought. Because we went from, 100 listeners in a week to almost like 40,000 people live, and then 100,000 people during the week.
right,
So I mean, the numbers where we started to the numbers where we got now, and then the possibility of the numbers we could be looking at in the not too distant future is just it's pretty mind
right,
boggling, really.
right. Which is like it goes back to like we're really appreciative guys, and like we couldn't do that without the people out there on the other end of this thing. Uh, so that's where it all has to come from. We appreciate you guys, you know, giving us that big boost of confidence, I guess. So,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, like I say, thanks to everybody who has come by and watched the show. If you've only watched it once, we still appreciate that. If you guys come by and watch it, with on a little more regular basis, all the better. And then we've had some, like last week, we had a couple of listeners interact with us during the show and kind of alter our format a little bit. But that was probably one of the more entertaining episodes that I know that we have had. Um,
most definitely, yeah.
having to answer some questions from the folks who are in the chat, that was very fun. So we enjoyed that quite a bit. So looking forward to more of that. And that's actually another thing that we will be that'll be another perk of going to those new platforms when the new rollout happens, is basically anyone on any platform who watches the show who wants to interact with us will be able to interact in. Oh God, Crowley.
Wow.
Oh God, Crowley.
We
Crowley.
missed you, buddy.
we did
uh,
we did miss you, Crowley. But we'll be able to interact with anyone who wants to interact with us on any of the platforms going forward. So that'll be something we look forward to also. But so yeah, it's gonna be great.
all right, now that the big news is out of the way, we can get to this little stuff. I'm just kidding. uh,
Yeah. That was our show, folks. Come back again
yeah,
next
so,
week. Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. We'll see you next week. All right. Well, I guess we kick off the week like we usually do with the happy birthday celebrations here, and go out and butcher a couple of names for you guys. So, uh,
Yeah.
so
There'd be
I
some
got
there'd be some Europe there'd be some European guys who get their names murdered. So
yeah, yeah. Oh well, yeah, yeah. A bunch of them. On July 18th, we had a Caesar, and I'm gonna kill this one. It's a Zuderwig. Uh, Hopefully that's close enough. But he was the drummer for Golden Earring. Uh, and Darren Malakian, the guitarist for System of a Down. Uh, July 19th, we had Brian May, guitarist of Queen. Um, Robert Flynn, one of your favorites and mine, vocalist and guitarist for
Yes.
Machine Head. Uh, Martin Powell, former guitarist for Cradle of Filth. We had July 20th, we had JJ French, guitarist for Twisted Sister. We had Chris Cornell, vocalist of Soundgarden and Audio Slave, but unfortunately passed away in 2017.
Right.
Andrew Stockdale, guitarist for Wolf Mother. And then another one of our favorites, Howard Jones, vocalist for Killswitch Engage
right.
and Light the Torch. So we had a good week for heavy metal birthdays, didn't we? It wasn't a long list, but it's been some big time players on this list. So
yeah, there were a lot of there's been a lot of iconic heavy metal artists who were born in the summer, which is weird.
yeah,
I guess
right,
I guess a lot of people's parents were doing it during the winter.
yeah. They're all like,
Of course, that's the that's the best time to do it.
Hibernating and humping. So
that's right.
July 21st, we had Jim Martin, guitarist for Faith No More. We had July 22nd, we had Brian Howe. He was the vocalist for Bad Company from 1986 to 1993, but unfortunately passed away in 2020. We had John Oliva. I always said Olivia. Is it Oliva or Olivia? I always thought it was Olivia. Oliva.
I think there's only. I'm pretty sure there's only one I in it. So I think it's John Oliva. Yeah.
But you need two eyes to see, so I don't understand why it's only one. But
well, he probably only needs one to perform. So he's all good.
I guess that's he's a vocalist anyway, so I guess he needs to see. But he was a vocalist for Sabotage. Pat Badger, bassist for Extreme. July 23rd, another big name in the metal industry, Slash, guitarist songwriter for Guns N' Roses. He was also in Velvet Revolver. Yeah, never heard of him? Yeah, Velvet Revolver. And
never heard of him.
I think it was his own band. What was Slash's band? His band. I can't remember what his band was called. With Miles Kennedy when he was singing for him.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I went blanks, but
I did too.
So, yeah, sorry. We all know who Slash is. Anyway, so.
Yeah, you Dennis Hoppered me with a pop quiz.
Yeah, right. It's like that. It's like that substitute teacher coming in first day of class. All right, pop quiz, guys. Like shit.
Yeah. Well, my name isn't AA Ron, so.
Yeah, AA Ron. Blocky. July 23rd, we had Nick Menza, drummer for Megadeth, that unfortunately passed away in 2016. And July 24th is Paul Geary, drummer for Extreme. So we have some Extreme love today on the birthday segment.
Yeah.
So that was the birthday list. Happy birthday to all of those peeps. And for any that I missed, happy birthday to them too. And if anybody out there listening's got a birthday, happy birthday to you guys today. Hope you enjoy your day out there. So.
That's right. And it was Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators. I looked it up.
Okay. And that's what Slash plays for that band?
Yeah, it was
really
featuring Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators. That's what it was.
Oh, okay. I thought it was.
Yeah.
All right, then. Well, there you go.
Yeah, I recognized it as soon as I saw it. I was like, "That's what it was." Yeah.
I don't know if any of you guys are on the Metalheads page. I don't know if you've seen a picture there, but there was a picture there of a young Slash on there, and I was like, "Wow, that's crazy."
Yeah, I think your wife posted that, and I think it was from 1982.
Yeah, I don't know. It was from back there.
Yeah, it was from quite a while back.
He just barely had an afro going in.
I was about to say he wasn't wearing the top hat, and you could see his goddamn eyes. So yeah, that was crazy. So all right, so we're gonna mosey on over to our current events.
Yeah, metal news of the week. Let's get cracking on it.
Metal news of the week. Yeah. All right. I will lead off this week. I don't know about you, but news was a little light this week. I seem to notice.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of the outlets that we use had the same stories. It's like
Yeah,
So it's kind of
yeah, there wasn't a whole lot
kind of
of
odd.
yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of diversity from one website to the next, and it's not that there weren't stories. There were, but we don't have the bandwidth or the capability to report on every story. So
Right.
we kind of pick and choose a little bit. So the most newsworthy stuff is what we try to bring you guys here on the show. So it seemed a little light on the earth shattering stuff this week. So
Hmm.
but we did manage to find some. We always do, and we always will. So this is what we got going so far. Leading off this week over at metalinjection.net. Billboard released its annual list of top earners of the previous year, and some big name rock and metal acts made the list. Before Billboard got to the bands, they offered some intriguing stats on the differences in earnings in a pandemic year and a year with touring. It's also, quote, in the story, it's also no surprise that the dearth of live revenue led to a precipitous decline in the paychecks of music's top earners, who collectively took home $387 million in 2020, down from
Mm.
$969 million in 2019, Billboard writes. Looking at revenue
Jesus.
streams, touring income based on Billboard box score data fell tenfold from 779 million in 2019 to 79 million, and accounted for just 20% of the artist's collective 2020 take-home pay. In previous years, it has made up to 75 to 80% of the top 40 moneymakers' income, end quote. But don't break out the violins just yet, because some artists had a huge year. Here's a spotlight on how rock and metal artists did according to this list. Coming in at number 7 was Queen. They made $13.2 million last year, or in 2020. Sorry, last year, hold on a second. Okay, yeah, this is 2020. So in 2020, they made $13.2 million. In 2019, that they were the fifth highest ranked artist. They made $5.5 million off of streaming, $5.3 million off of sales, and $2.4 million off of publishing, obviously making zero dollars off of touring. So
Right.
all they had to do, all Queen had to do in 2020 was just sit around and let their body of work do the talking for them, and they made $13.2 million. Yeesh. All right. Coming in at 13th was AC/DC at $10.1 million. $4.3 million off of streaming, $4 million off of sales, $1.8 million off of publishing. Number 18 was Metallica at $9 million. $3.9 million off of streaming, $3.7 million off of sales, $1.4 million off of publishing. Number 20 was Pink Floyd at $8.8 million. $3.2 million off of streaming, $4.3 million off of sales, and $1.3 million off of publishing. Number 32 was Tool, $6.17 million, $823,400 off of streaming, $557,000 off of sales, and $611,000 off of publishing. And I guess they were able to tour because they had $4.2 million off of touring.
Mm.
Let's see. Kiss had $6 million, 431K off of streaming, 348K on sales, 194 and a half K off of publishing, and I guess they were able to tour too. They had $5 million off of touring. Aerosmith, $5.35 million, $1.33 million off of streaming, 564K off of sales, 840K off of publishing, and $2.7 million off of touring. So those were the rock and heavy metal acts that were on the list. You could probably find the entire list, the entire top 40 on Billboard's website, I'm sure, but we don't give a crap about the other genres of music, so we're not going to talk about them here.
Right.
So,
And
all right, so
it's kind of
that was
cool
that
that
was my
you're
lead
doing
story.
that because I got a story kind of I did the same thing. It's like there was like a top 25, but I just took the heavy metal stuff out of it. And rest
Yeah,
because like you said, the rest of it don't really matter to us. But I mean, it
no,
matters to some people. But just not us.
yeah, yeah, and those people are entitled to go find that information on their own time,
That's right.
just not during our show.
Pop.
Ugh, no.
Uh,
We're just gonna quote your brand new T-shirt that you got on this week. We're just gonna quote that.
oh, yeah. Yeah, let's show everybody. Let's just show
Yeah,
everybody.
show that to everybody.
It says heavy metal is God's apology for pop music.
I like it.
Oh, oh, I hit a light.
Oh no.
I don't know what I did there.
Oh, Jason's experiencing technical difficulties.
That is weird.
The beauty of being live.
Right, right. Oh, maybe I did the whole plug. Maybe that's what
All right, all right. What we'll do is,
I don't
did you get it? No, did you get it?
know. No, I'm gonna be dark for me. Oh, wait a minute. It did come out. There it goes.
Hey, there it is. All right.
And then I paid the bill. I swear.
Hell,
All
we
right.
would only have half a show if you wouldn't have paid the bill.
No, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to be on here at all, probably. So, it's all right. There's a library down the street. I'll still make it to you guys. I'm committed at this point. So, all right, let's move on here. Let's see. First story I had is from Blabbermouth. Dave Mustaine has confirmed that the new Megadeth album will be titled "The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead." Mustaine touched upon the name of the new disc while filming a new video message on Cameo, which lets users hire celebrities to record brief personalized video messages about virtually any topic, which is a cool thing to do, by the way. If you ever hadn't done that, check that out. It's pretty cool. Addressing a fan named Joe from the recording studio where the new Megadeth album was being mixed, Mustaine said, "If you listen real closely, you can hear in the background there's the Pro Tools rig with the new album doing a rough mix, and you're getting to hear a little bit of it in the background. This is the beginning of the song, The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead, which is our title track." Mustaine previously floated the idea, or actually floated The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead as a tentative title for the new Megadeth disc, who played the bass on the new Megadeth album after Dave Ellison's tracks were removed from the LP following his dismissal from the band in late May. So we got a title, but we don't know who played bass. But
and as far as I know, we still don't have a release date yet, which is getting kind of. Admittedly, it's getting a little irritating, but
right. We know Daddy sang bass, but we don't know who played
it. Right.
Yeah. I was wondering if he was going to catch that or not. So,
yeah, no, I got it. Ah, Jesus.
Yeah, dad joke of the day there.
No, it was a good reference. I got it. It was a good reference. I liked it. It fit, so it was cool. All right, I'm going to stay at blabbermouth.net also for a little bit here. Lynyrd Skynyrd guitarist Gary Rossington is recovering from emergency heart surgery. According to a post on the band's Facebook page, he, quote, is home resting and recovering with his family at home. He wants everyone to know he is doing good and expects a full recovery. After this past year, the country being shut down and everything we have all been through, the Rossingtons encouraged the band to go perform in his absence. Music is a powerful healer. We all felt playing the shows and bringing the music to y'all was a better option than canceling the performances. We wish Gary a speedy recovery, and we will see Skynyrd Nation very soon. Please do us a favor and say some prayers for the Rossington family, and if you would like to leave him a positive message, please do. He will look forward to reading them, end quote. The sole remaining original member of Lynyrd Skynyrd, Rossington suffered a heart attack in 2015, prompting several of the band's concerts to be canceled. He also went quintuple bypass surgery and back in 2003 due to coronary artery disease. In 2019, he had an operation to fix a leaky heart valve. 3 years ago, the 69-year-old Rossington told the Tampa Bay Times his doctors have urged him for years to quit touring. Quote, I've had heart attacks on stage. He said, that's why I was calling it a farewell tour. I don't know if I'll be here much longer. I don't want to just say, well, we're never going to end because I don't want to die and then it end that way, which is a heavy thing to talk about, but I have to. End quote. Rossington survived the 1977 plane crash that killed singer Ronnie Van Zant and guitarist Steve Gaines. The band reunited with Ronnie's brother Johnny Van Zant as singer in 1987 and has been on the road ever since. So let's hope. Excuse me. Let's hope Gary can recover from his surgery and get back to health. And I guess Skinner will be back on the road as soon as they can be. He's had a lot of stuff go on with his heart. He had a heart attack. He's had a quintuple bypass.
Right.
He's had coronary artery disease, a leaky heart valve. That dude's got all sorts of aftermarket plumbing going on at this point.
Yeah. Maybe time for him to relax a little.
Yeah, it might be. He may actually want to listen to his doctors on this one. That may actually be a good idea.
Yeah, I'm sure the stress of touring and stuff would not be good for him. So
no, I wouldn't think.
All right, I'm gonna move over to a Loudwire story here. Music, particularly the rock and metal industry, can provoke so many different emotions within us all. Often those feelings are of happiness and elation, the kind of carpe diem response only the best feel good rock music can conjure. But so too can rock and metal touch on tragedy and loss, oftentimes to devastating effect, covering an array of real life tragedies from terrorist attacks and suicide to war and famine. Below are 25 examples of rock and metal songs based on real world experiences of loss, despair, and heartache. And like I said, they said rock and metal, but some of that stuff was some of the stuff we know about, but I didn't feel was metal. So like Eric Clapton, of course, who wrote the song "Tears in Heaven" about his son that passed away, that kind of thing. But there's a lot of little stories like that in there. But I'm going to kick off with POD, Youth of a Nation. The rap rockers POD's 2001 track Youth of a Nation was inspired in part by the high school shootings that took place at Columbine and Santana high schools. Two students were killed at Santana in 2001, while the 1999 Columbine High School massacre resulted in 15 deaths, including the gunman. The Santana shootings in particular struck a chord with the band as the members of POD became stuck in traffic in Santee on the way to the recording studio as a result of the chaos surrounding the murders. So that's got to be pretty deep there to be on your way to record an album and then you get stopped in the middle of traffic because of the shooting. So I guess that was, your inspirations come from crazy places sometimes.
Crazy places and from all sorts of, events, whether they be tragic events or whether they be happy events.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's just the way the world works. We end up. You don't want to say you end up with. You don't want to say that you end up with good songs out of it and make that sound like that's the focus of it, because obviously it's not. But it's just it happens. Life happens, and you just have to deal with it. And some people deal with it in different ways, and these singers and songwriters, that's the way they deal with it. And thankfully we're able to, I guess in a roundabout way, benefit from it, if you can really even say that.
Yeah, right. So that's it's pretty rough stuff. Like I'm not sure if like 18 in Life was a inspirational type song or anything, but like growing up in that era, I could see that kind of thing happening, and actually came close to happening a few times before the song ever came out. I've kind of almost witnessed that happening a couple of times. So that song kind of resonated well with me because we were growing up in that era and we could kind of see that actually happening. So.
Yeah, and I don't, like you say, I don't know if that song was any autobiographical situation or not, but knowing Sebastian Bach's mouth, I could see that happening to him. Somebody pointing a gun on him. If anyone's going to have that happen to him, it's probably going to be Sebastian Bach, because he doesn't know when to shut up.
Right. All right, moving on here. This Linkin Park's Looking for an Answer. One of rock's most devastating recent tragedies was the death of Linkin Park frontman Chester Bennington, sent shockwaves throughout music communities around the world. Following Bennington's death, fellow Linkin Park vocalist Mike Shinoda penned the ballad Looking for an Answer with the band debuted at Chester's tribute show in October of 2017. Addressing his bandmate looking for an answer, finds Shinoda asking, "Is there sunshine where you are?" The way there was when you were here, because I'm just sitting in the dark in disbelief, and that this is real. So that that's kind of that had to be kind of hard to do. I would think, uh, especially being that recent of you know Chester passing away and then having to write that. That had to be pretty rough for.
Yeah, you would think, I obviously I've never been in a band like that, and I can only imagine how difficult that would have to be, for the rest of the guys in Linkin Park or any band for that matter. I mean, even talking about Leonard Skinner, he was the in Leonard he was the only he survived the plane crash. He was the only original member, and he's still around. But having to be reminded about that all the time, whether it be Leonard Skinner or whether it be the rest of the guys in Linkin Park, a member of the band dies, and you can never really get away from that. Not that anybody ever forgets when a family member dies or when a friend dies, but being in the public eye like that nonstop and being constantly reminded of it, it's just got to
Right.
be exhausting to be haunted by that all the time. But then, like you're talking about, having to be not only be reminded of it, but then using it as inspiration from theirs. I guess it's kind of cathartic for them, I guess, but
Yeah.
still, just to be hounded by what happened, just got to be exhausting emotionally for sure.
All right. Let's move on to this one that we can all kind of relate to, I guess. Testament, the evil has landed. Cut from the 2008 LP, The Formation of Damnation. The evil has landed is Testament's response to the tragic events of 9/11. A glorious helping of the thrash metal its creators do so well. The metallic crunch and musical virtuosity of The Evil Has Landed are elevated by the fine way in which Testament handles the song's sensitive subject matter. Surprised there's not more songs about 9/11, honestly.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah.
All right, we had Asphyx, 3 Years of Famine, taken from the album Necroceros, released earlier this year. Asphyx's thunderous metal epic 3 Years of Famine speaks to the great Chinese famine that occurred during the reign of Chairman Mao. I'm going to say
Mao.
that's Mao. Mao, whatever.
Yeah, Chairman Mao in China. Yeah.
Mao. Okay, gotcha. You're not going to say it like they're
Chairman
stuck there in
Chairman
rush hour,
Chairman
right?
Meow.
Mao. Mao.
Yeah, Chairman
Meow.
Meow.
Are you saying meow? A
You
song
can continue reading your story, Meow.
uh, the song which describes the decimated communities, the practice of murdering to eat, and the concept of Maoist delusion. 3 Years of Famine is a modern metal epic with a powerful message. Meow. Uh,
Yeah.
so, meow.
Meow.
Yeah. Uh, do I look like a cat to you? Oh, wow. Next one was Iron Maiden, Empire of the Clouds. Empire of the Clouds is inspired by the British R-101 airship that crashed during its maiden voyage in 1930. Oh, play on words. I like it. At 18 minutes
Yes.
long, yeah, at 18 minutes long, it's a lengthy piece of work, but there's plenty to marvel at, including frontman Bruce Dickinson's debut on piano for the band. Oh, wow, I did not know that. Empire of the Clouds features on Iron Maiden's 16th LP, The Book of Souls. Uh, so, yeah, I didn't know he played piano on that song. That's crazy.
I didn't either.
Mm.
Just
I guess
another
because we
talent
don't
that
think of
Bruce Dickinson has.
I guess we just never think of Bruce Dickinson. Oh yeah, he's the piano guy for Iron Maiden.
Yeah. Yeah. Piano guy, lead singer, um,
Yeah.
the guy that chauffeurs the guy the rest of the band around in a goddamn
Yeah.
747.
Uh, uh, Next up
That's
is Machine Head, Stop the Bleeding, featuring Jesse Lynch from Killswitch Engage, written in response to the killings of George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery. Stop the Bleeding, a
mhm.
collaboration between Machine Head and Killswitch Engage's Jesse Leach, is a furious riot against injustice. Speaking about the influence the murder of Floyd had on track. Machine Head frontman Rob Flynn said, quote, I drove into Oakland past largely demonstrations already happening, and in a fury wrote down everything I was feeling after watching the horrific footage. Within hours, what I wanted to say, what I needed to say, and had been recorded in the song, end quote. Like I said, this is, based on tragedies, whether we agree with the outcomes of what happened after the tragedies is not relevant here. So just so we know, we're
Yeah.
not in the political argument here. So
Yeah, no, we don't talk about that stuff here.
yeah, we just report the news, man. I can't help what's on.
That's right. That's
Uh,
right. Just
the
like
next
the
one,
just like the whole just like the whole John Schaefer thing. We've reported the news, and that's all we've
right?
done.
Yeah, and I mean he's still in the news, so it's. I mean we could report on that every
Mm-hmm.
week if we wanted to, but while like you said, why beat a dead horse? It's until
Right.
something like I probably wouldn't. I probably will like touch on it at some point when it's over and he's actually either in jail or free, one or the other. So until
Right.
something happens either way, then I'm just going to leave it alone. And it's kind of like you said. I did the Megadeth story earlier, and of course they went into the the badgering and the repetitiveness of
Mm-hmm.
why Dave wasn't in the band anymore and blah 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 blah. I mean, we already know that, so I don't know why they
Right.
keep having to throw that in the stories.
Yeah.
Just 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 report the new stuff. We already know about those shit. So
Yeah. That and that's actually what I've had to do on a couple of stories over the past couple of weeks. You read the new stuff and then leave all the rehash out of it because I mean, like you said, we've heard it before and we've only got 2 hours. So
right. Well, I mean, the thing is, like, I mean, these guys are paid good money to go out and find this stuff. I'm just like, wow,
hmm
why keep repeating this? I don't understand.
they're just they. The funny thing is at some point they're just using it as filler.
Right.
Really, that's all they're doing is just they're using it to just lengthen the story. I mean, it's like, yeah, we've
Yeah,
heard
but
that
why would
already.
you?
You
So
you
why?
could keep those last two paragraphs out of it. They're irrelevant at this point. Everybody knows.
Right. So my thing is like, why can't you? So why can't you go in and say, okay, uh, this is what happened. If you're not familiar with what happened to Ellison and he's out of the band, here's a link to that story. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It's like, why can't you just provide the link within the story? And if people don't know, they can go back and look at the other story. We don't need the whole
Yeah.
breakdown again. I mean, it's
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
my opinion. I mean, I don't run the magazines and the websites for these people, and it's probably a good
Yeah.
damn thing.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
you and I are definitely on the same page as far as that goes. And Nazem, good to see you. I'm glad you're back. And no politics here, so you don't have to worry about that.
yeah,
And
and
to
thanks. I
and
want
to
to
and
yeah, thanks.
to answer your question real quick, Nazem, I'll be
Yeah,
completely honest with you. I don't I don't really know Uriah Heep that well. I'll be completely honest with you. So
right.
I wish I had more to tell you about that, but I don't really know much about Uriah Heep. If I'm being
Yeah.
completely honest with you. But that was cool that was your first concert in Central Park. I bet that was a hell of a show, especially at that venue.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I also want to give a shout out real quick to Anne Marie up there. She said she looks like she just subscribed to
Yeah,
the channel.
brand
So
new
thank you.
subscriber. We
Yeah, awesome.
appreciate that. Thank you very much. Welcome
Yeah.
to the show. If this is your first time listening, we appreciate you.
All right, let me jump back into this topic for I'll lose track of what I'm doing here. uh, the next up was the Exodus Nanking. The Nanjing massacre is estimated to have killed anywhere between 40,000 and 300,000 Chinese citizens and was one of the most abhorrent mass killings to occur the 20th century. Exodus's track, Nanking, tells you the tales of this tragedy, which was carried out by Japanese forces as part of the Second Sino-Japanese War, and features on the band's 2010 record Exhibit B: The Human Condition. Uh, so wow, that's pretty interesting. I did not know. Like I like this is one of the things I love about this. I'm a big history buff, so I love like stuff in history that I don't know, and then
hmm
like I never knew about this Nanjing massacre, which is crazy. But like I said, I don't go out and look for history stories. I just happen to come across
Right.
them and be like, oh, that's interesting. But I love them. I mean, I do. I think history is a big part of it's one of those things where they say if you erase it, you doomed to repeat it. So I kind of like history to be where it's at. So a lot of this
Yeah,
shit we do
yeah,
not need to repeat.
yeah.
Uh,
Well, good, like you said, good, bad, or otherwise, we need to make sure that we learn the lessons from the past,
right.
and
Yeah.
that's actually one of the things. I mean, they put out good music, but the reason why, and we've talked about this band before, and we're both a fan of them. We keep talking about Sabaton.
Hmm.
That's one of the reasons why I like listening to Sabaton. But aside from the fact that they put out great music, and they really do, the musicianship is fantastic. Um, they talk about they talk about particular battles that have happened over the past, whether they be in the United States, whether they be talking about World War I, World War II, the 30-year war in Sweden. So they've actually referred to specific wars in world history, and
Hmm.
it's cool that they talk about that stuff in addition to the music being great. So I mean, you can literally learn shit while you're listening to good music. So I mean, it's a win-win if
Right.
you are like a history buff. Like I like learning about that stuff too. I like history. I like going to museums and seeing artifacts and stuff like that. But then, in the music world, you put the two together, it ends up turning out really well about 90% of the time.
Hmm.
Favorite Black Sabbath album, and I can only pick one.
I may only know of one. So I ain't even gonna
uh,
lie. Uh,
Probably Paranoid for me.
yeah, that's kind of where I was at too. So
Yeah, yeah. The funny thing is, though, I mean, I would probably pick that album, but then you talk about other songs. There were actually there were other good Black Sabbath songs with the other vocalists. I mean,
oh right, yeah, was Dio,
so
yeah.
yeah, so it's weird because I mean, and then what was who replaced Dio? Was it Tony Martin that replaced Dio?
I think
I think that was his name. I'll also admit I'm not the uh the foremost expert on Black Sabbath, especially their entire history.
yeah.
Um, so I
I
can't
mean
remember. I
I
want to
mean
say
I
his
said
name was Tony Martin. I want to say that was his name, Tony Martin. But I mean, they even
Tony
put out
Martin
some
thought it. Yeah, I had to look
Tony.
it up, but
Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then
So I mean,
Ian Gillan was a vocalist too. So
right, yeah. So
and
you
Ray
know,
Gillan, so had a lot of different folks on the mic there. So
yeah. So I would probably say if Nazem, if you're making me pick one, I would pick Paranoid. That's what I would
right,
pick.
and I'm probably on the same page with you on that one too.
And I'm
Although
a little and go ahead. Sorry.
I was just say, although I remember like one of the first videos, like I remember growing up too on MTV was actually from the what was it? Hellas Cross, I think was the album. Uh, they was promoting at that time, but yeah. So
Nice. I will say this, Nazem. I am jealous of you. You got to see Dio with Rainbow. That's awesome.
oh my god, that's freaking
Yeah,
seeing
totally
Dio
jealous
with
of it.
anybody. I mean, seeing Dio with
Yeah, no
anybody, I'm
kidding.
jealous because I didn't get to see him at
Yeah,
all. So
yeah. No, I never got to see him live either. So I mean, and I also saw a story earlier this week that I decided not to report on here, but since you brought it up, Nazem, Wendy Dio was quoted as saying in the story
mm,
that they're not even 100% sure that they're going to continue with that with the Ronnie James hologram. So they're not even sure that they're going to keep doing that. So, and
yeah,
I haven't even had a chance to see the hologram either. So I haven't seen live Dio or fake Dio. So I mean, the fact that you got to see him at all, I'm totally jealous of that.
yeah,
And being
and you're not.
61 doesn't and
Yeah,
being
yeah,
61
that's
doesn't
not
matter,
over.
buddy. You're still
Yeah,
young at heart. So
that's not over.
no, 61's not old. And yeah, Crowley MTV did show videos at one point. I think it was for about 4 hours, and
Yeah.
then they just quit.
Yeah, what was that? What was the old thing? It was like "Happy Birthday" for 40 years of
Yeah, yeah,
40
yeah.
happy 40th birthday to MTV. The best 7 years of music videos ever.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Uh, oh
Yeah.
my god! All right, let me move on here before we get caught up in time frame here. Let's say "System of a Down" Pluck, Pluck. I don't know if they initialed it or if they actually said Pluck, but Anyway, it's dedicated to those who lost their lives in the Armenian genocide of World War One. Over a million Armenians are thought to have been killed during this period, and in politically lying, unholy, cowardly killers. System of a Down pays tribute to those who were murdered, which would make sense since they are Armenians, so they would know a bit more about that
Yeah.
than we would. So, uh, right. So Polaris, Hey Sandy. The true meaning behind the lyrics to Hey Sandy remains a mystery, but a popular theory is that they pertain to the Kent State shootings of 1970, where 4 students were shot and killed by the Ohio National Guard during a protest against the Vietnam War. The Sandy in the title, according to this theory, is Sandra Lee Shure, one of the women who died. Hey Sandy has since become well known for its indecipherable lyrics. Of course, another very popular song about the Kent State tragedy is 1971's Ohio by Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. So, man, that's great. They went way back with that one. Uh, I didn't even know about that either. That's kind of so. I mean, that's just kind of the thing. Is like you don't know about a lot of this stuff until you like come across it and read it because it's kind of like nails. I remember I think I've mentioned this to you before, but I remember going through one of my kids' history books when they were in high school, and yeah, they did the Civil War stuff, blah 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 blah, but there was not much about the American Native American Indians in it, and I thought, man, this is like not good. So to see stuff missing out there, can definitely mean that we overlook a lot of things that probably should be in there. But like I said, of
Well,
course
that's well. I mean, that's
you gotta break down lessons to an extent too. So I mean, we don't have time to they don't have time to cover everything, I'm sure. But
yeah. Well, I mean, the song "Indians" by Anthrax kind of covered
right,
that a little bit. So
that's exactly. Yeah, I'm surprised that wasn't on here actually.
yeah. Well, we just mentioned it, so there you go.
Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, do
Yeah.
your homework.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. Really.
then there's a more recent one that I'm familiar with is Gojira Amazonia. The release has
Oh
supported
yeah.
the charitable cause, the articulation of indigenous peoples of Brazil. Gojira's Amazonia is a powerful call to arms to all those who are environmentally conscious. Taking the destruction of the Amazon rainforest as its muse, the song pulls no punches when it comes to talking of the devastation felt by those who rely on the Amazon to survive. What I thought was cool about that whole deal was Gojira took that everything that was made off that went to a charitable cause. They didn't take any money off of it, which was cool. Um,
Yeah.
we also had Slayer, Angel of Death, the opening track of Slayer's legendary album Raining Blood. Angel of Death has proved one of the thrash heroes' most controversial songs, with the actions of prominent Nazi Joseph Hingel as its subject matter. The song sparked controversy and accusations of Nazi sympathizing, something that the band has strongly denied. Oh man, poor Slayer. They always get the short end of the stick.
Imagine that somebody taking something out of context. That never
No,
happens.
no, I've never
No, that
heard of
never
such.
happens. No.
Yeah, I think those are called Facebook fact checkers.
You're probably right.
uh, we had Foo Fighters, a ballad of Beaconsfield miners. This song was written in a tribute to 2 miners who became trapped underground for 14 days when a gold mine collapsed in Tasmania. One of the miners, a huge Foos fan, requested while trapped that an iPod loaded with the Foo Fighters song be sent down to them. And after hearing about this, frontman Dave Grohl promised that a tribute track, Ballad of the Beaconsfield Miners, would appear on the band's next album. Uh, so wow, that's crazy. Uh,
Yeah, I never actually heard that story before.
yeah, I hadn't either. I mean, you hear about mining stories all the time, but you never hear about the actual that's pretty detailed. So,
Yeah.
Black Sabbath War Pigs, an anti-war song composed in the midst of fears that British men would be conscripted to fight in the Vietnam War. War Pigs is a Black Sabbath's middle finger to armed conflict, a heavy metal classic. It opened Sabbath's acclaimed 1970 LP, Paranoid. We just talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
that's kind of
Thank you,
interesting.
Nazem, for the
Yeah,
thank you, Nazem, for the
yeah,
segue.
yeah. Nazim's a silent partner. Don't let him
Yes, he is.
lie. We have Body Count, Black Hoodie, nominated for Best Metal Performance at the Grammys. Black Hoodie centered around the shooting of Trayvon Martin, an unarmed 17-year-old who was killed by a neighborhood watch coordinator George Zimmerman in 2012. Body Count dedicated their performance of Black Hoodie at the Grammys to the memory of Martin. Uh, so, again, not getting political, so
Right.
just reporting the news. That's another show, Politishock on Thursday nights. You can catch those and talk about those things with them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Uh,
The boss
right.
will the boss would definitely be more than willing to discuss those kind of topics with you guys. He'd be
Oh yeah,
more than willing
uh,
at
Rise,
length.
Rise Against Hero of War, the anti-war song told from the perspective of a bitter veteran hero of war, is a poignant ode to peace. Pouring scorn on the idea of war heroes and flag-waving patriotism, the acoustic number from Rise Against explains in shocking detail all the consequences that bloody wars bring. Uh, so there is a little short list. Didn't go through all of them, but like I said, if we did that, I'd be here, through the whole show probably. So
Yeah. All right.
it's
That
lemonade.
no, I like that though. That was a good story. I dug that. That was really cool. All right. I'm gonna stay with blabbermouth.net here for a little bit. Maybe let's see. I got this one and one more at Blabbermouth. Um, for let's see. For those of you who are fans of the band, this one is for you. And for those who don't like it, you're just gonna have to listen to it anyway because I'm gonna read it. Five Finger Death Punch's song "A Little Bit Off" has been certified gold by the RIAA, the Recording Industry Association of America, for accumulating 500,000 certified units. The track appears on the band's latest album, Fate, which was released in February of 2020. The follow-up to 2018's And Justice for None capped a turbulent period for Five Finger Death Punch, in which singer Ivan Moody finally got sober after a near-fatal struggle with addiction, while co-founding drummer Jeremy Spencer bowed out of the band due to physical issues. According to the RIAA, one equivalent song unit is equal to a single digital song sale or 150 on-demand audio and or video streams. In June of 2020, Five Finger Death Punch released the official video for A Little Bit Off. The clip was shot during lockdown in a deserted, car-free Las Vegas where Moody was the only soul on a sidewalk usually crowded with people. Five Finger Death Punch recently entered the Hideout recording studio in Las Vegas, Nevada to begin recording its new album for a 2022 release. Helming the effort once again is Kevin Churko, the Canadian record producer, engineer, and songwriter who has previously worked with Ozzy Osbourne, Disturbed, In This Moment, and Hell Yeah, among others. As previously reported, Five Finger Death Punch is also planning to re-record its debut album 2007's The Way of the Fist later this summer for its 15th anniversary. Five Finger Death Punch guitarist Zoltan Bathory explained the decision to rework the LP in a social media post in May. He wrote, quote, "It was a truly self-produced DIY album, mostly recorded in my living room, so we thought it would be really interesting to hear it with a proper big production," end quote. The Way of the Fist was originally released in July of 2007 and was certified gold in April of 2011 for sales in excess of 500,000 copies. Five Finger Death Punch's upcoming album will be the band's first with its latest addition, renowned British virtuoso Andy James, who replaced Jason Hook last year. James was previously featured on Broken World, a song that was included on the second installment of Five Finger Death Punch's greatest hits collection, A Decade of Destruction Volume 2, which came out last fall. Each of Five Finger Death Punch's first 6 albums, The Way of the Fist, 2009's War is the Answer, 2011's American Capitalist, 2013's The Wrong Side of Heaven and the Righteous Side of Hell Volume 1 and Volume 2, and 2015's Got Your Sick has gone either gold or platinum in the U.S. The band has had 24 songs hit the top 10 on the mainstream rock and hard rock digital charts, starting with The Bleeding, which originally appeared on The Way of the Fist. Five Finger Death Punch's 2010 cover of Bad Company's Bad Company was certified platinum for accumulating 1 million certified units. Five Finger Death Punch's number one hits include Coming Down, Lift Me Up, Battleborn, Wash It All Away, on back. Fate debuted at number 1 on Seasons Chant, debuted at number 1 rock charts around the world with top 10 mainstream chart debuts in the United States, Austria, Australia, Canada, Finland, Germany, Sweden, Switzerland, the UK, and more. Fate features #1 hit singles Inside Out, A Little Bit Off, and Living the Dream. So, like I say, we're fans of Five Finger Death Punch here at Metalheads Unite. We've seen them live a couple times. I don't know how many times you've seen them live, Jason, but I've seen them live a couple times. We are fans and we are happy for them. So, and by the way, welcome back.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was all about. Like, I wasn't doing anything. I just looked down. I looked down at my phone. I looked back up and said, "What the hell? There's nothing there."
Yeah, I saw your screen go black. So I was like, "Oh shit! I better just keep reading."
Thank you, Haps.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
That,
I was like, I didn't.
And,
I wasn't.
And that
I
lady's,
looked down at my phone. Yeah, I looked down at my phone and.
Yeah, and that, ladies and gentlemen, was the voice of Dan Smariglio. That's the boss here at VOP. And like we said, he would be more than happy to discuss his issues with Haps over at Politishock on Thursday nights. He has plenty to say. And actually, if you want to hear what he has to say, you can actually check out this past Thursday's episode of Politishock. And it was a doozy. I'll just say that. Jason and I were.
Yes, it was.
Jason and I were both privy to that episode on Thursday night, and you would not be disappointed if you guys have some time to check that out. So,
all right. So, moving on here. I don't know where I got this one from. I didn't write it down. I think I'm still on. I'm still on Loudwire. So, after a long year without any live shows, concerts are finally back, and to help celebrate their return, Live Nations is offering $20 all-in tickets for nearly 1,000 shows, featuring dozens of artists. The ability to purchase these discounted tickets will only be available for a limited time or while supplies last, starting on July 28th at 12 p.m. Eastern. An exclusive T-Mobile Sprint pre-sale will start one day earlier on July 27th at 12 p.m. Eastern, where music fans can snag tickets for a full 24 hours in advance of the general public on-sale date through T-Mobile Tuesdays. For more pre-sale information, visit the mobile carrier's website. Some artists on the list include Alice Cooper, Coheed Cambria, Judas Priest, Kiss, Korn, Megadeth, Primus, Rise Against, and Slipknot. So, wow, man, that's a pretty good deal, man. If anybody's wants to go to any of those shows and wants to go for like $20, I'm sure those are nosebleed seats, but $20, you can't beat that. You can't beat that. So.
Still, that's a hell of a deal. That's probably, I mean, $20 tickets in 2021 is probably the equivalent of some of those $3 tickets, back in the 1980s on some of the stories that we've shared earlier in the year.
Or back when the radio station here first came out, which is 102.9, they used to sell tickets for $10.29. I remember that.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty cool.
And now they don't even play good music.
I know, right? I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
it's just going in reverse.
Yeah, definitely going in reverse. Of course, that's a rant that you and I could both get off on if we decided to one day, talking about the local rock station.
Yeah.
Anyway,
big quotations.
Yeah. Anyway, a big digress right there. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna carry on real quick. So I just got a quick story right here from Metal Injection.
That's cool.
It says, when does the Metallica train stop this year? Who knows? In addition to their Black Album reissue, the band has also teamed up with Vans and Artist Head for a line of new shoes. The shoes features Pushead's sad but true artwork on Vans Skate High and Classic slip-on sneakers, both of which will be available later this month through Vans and Metallica's own web store. So big Metallica fans out there you go, get you some Vans sad but true sneakers.
Yeah. Gotta admit, I've never been a huge fan of the Vans brand of shoes, so I probably would pass on those. But that's just me.
That's just me. Most people need to realize that those and like what's the other ones? Hell, I buy them. Chuck Taylors for Converse. Mm-hmm. All those are casual type shoes. They're not made for you to go, work out.
I'm sorry,
or anything like that.
I'm sorry to interject, but don't you think they should have went like Doc Martens? Maybe that would have been a little different, or you would think something more metal than Vans.
They should have went. Yeah, they should have went with a line of.
Man.
They should have went with a line of boots.
Yes, boots. Metal up your ass, boots up. boots would have been better. Or even
I think,
Janko. Do pants. They're back. Nobody knows it, but they're back. They're like $500 a pair of Jenkos now. But still, you know. And I'm a Metallica fan, but you know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys.
No, you're good. No, you're good, man.
Rock on.
Now, here's that.
Know, man.
The thing is, like, I followed Van's Warped Tour, which was sponsored by the Van, and I've never ever seen Metallica on that bill. Ever. So it's like, I'd be like, no, man, we were never good enough to fucking tour for you guys. Then, no, man, fuck your shoes, you know. But
yeah, that does seem very ironic, you know, because there's no way that Metallica would have ever been on that tour, and yet they're teaming up to make shoes together. And Crowley, I would probably buy more than one pair of Metallica Crocs if they came out with those.
Oh my God! I don't own a pair of Crocs.
I don't either. But if they came out with Metallica Crocs, I would probably buy a pair. I'd probably get some. I would buy Crocs before Vans, but like I say, that's just my opinion. That's just me. So
just know if you got Crocs, you can't jump in the fire. So,
well, shit, that's true. That's true. That's true. But yeah, I do like Dan's idea better. Should have been like some mosh pit, steel-toed, asshole stomping fucking combat boots. That would have been badass. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, I'd definitely bought a pair of those for sure. So,
yeah.
All right. So, another one here from Metal Injection. It should come as no surprise, but when it comes to actually buying and owning music, rock and metal fans are much more inclined to buy the physical product than fans of any other genre. And I can attest to that because I buy a lot of CDs still.
Me too.
Twitter account chart data compiled the best-selling artists for the year so far, based purely on sales of physical and digital products, CDs and vinyls, and does not take into account any streaming data. While the top artist is a Korean pop sensation BTS and number 2 is the Beatles, the rest of the chart is dominated by rock. Number 3 is in fact the metal icons Metallica, Queen, Fleetwood Mac, Pink, Floyd, AC/DC, Nirvana, Foo Fighters, and Led Zeppelin round out the list. Metallica's Black Album is now over 600 weeks on the Billboard charts.
I love that shit.
Oh my God.
I love that shit. And to answer your question at the beginning of that story about the Van shoes, when is the Metallica train going to stop? As long as the Black Album is out there, the answer is going to be never. That train will never stop as long as that album is out there. Ever.
I was going to say, unless you outlaw the Black Album, they're not going anywhere.
They're not going anywhere. No. I can hear Shorty. What's he barking at?
Yeah, probably the long guy. Jesus Christ!
And a guest appearance by Jason's dog. That's hilarious. Okay, all right. While he's doing that, over at blabbermouth.net, a little bit, once again, we've got a little bit of a somber note to report on. Lithophane Pridgon, Jimi Hendrix's long-term girlfriend and the presumed inspiration for his classic song Foxy Lady, died at her home in Las Vegas on April 22nd at age 80. Her death wasn't publicly announced until this week. Upon meeting each other in Harlem in 1964, Faye and Hendrix enjoyed an immediate connection with the two sharing a love for each other and music. They lived together, wrote songs, and spent hours together listening to favorites from her mother's deep collection of blues 45s and 78s. Pridgon was struck by Hendrix's knowledge and understanding of these artists and their music. Their relationship helped inspire Foxy Lady. Faye was an extraordinary lady, explains experienced Hendrix catalog manager John McDermott. We began a friendship more than 30 years ago, which continued right up to her recent passing. Her contributions to the books I have authored about Jimi Hendrix were invaluable. Her perspective was always illuminating, and her demand for accuracy never waned. Her contribution to the Hear My Train A-Comin' documentary was immensely important, providing first-hand accounts of Jimi Hendrix's history from a vantage point that no one else had. We fans owe her a debt of gratitude for sharing this information, end quote. We shared a deep love for blues music, continues Dermott. McDermott, sorry, our conversations would always spark her to ask if I was aware how much Jimmy liked obscure 45s such as It's Too Late by Tar Heel Slim and Little Ann, Suffering Mind by Guitar Slim, or the passages within Elmore James's Anna Lee that Jimmy would play his guitar to over and over. He wore out 3 copies, said Faye. She will be greatly missed. Jimi Hendrix, president and CEO of Experience Hendrix, recalls, when I met Faye, quote, when I met Faye, it was no mystery why she and Jimmy had such a close bond. They were kindred spirits possessing the same genuineness and zest for life. Faye had a beautiful spirit, and it was like finding a long-lost sister. She had such colorful stories to tell, which I loved hearing and will treasure. Over the years, we developed a closeness built on joy, laughter, encouragement, and a shared love for Jimmy. She will be missed, but her light will never go out, end quote. So, unfortunately, not directly involved in the music scene, but the inspiration by one hell of a song by one hell of a guitar player. So rest in peace to her. Jason, did you get the dog quieted down?
Yeah, finally. Good God. Yeah. I put on the comments and said, I'm sorry, I think somebody passed by playing rap and pissed them off. I don't know.
That would do it. That makes me bark. Makes me growl at least. It's like, God damn it.
All right.
So that was actually all of the news, the current events news that I had. Jason, I don't know if you have anything else, but that was my last one. So, that was my last one.
I got a couple more. So this all one right. From over at Kerrang, Bruce Dickinson has revealed that Iron Maiden took inspiration from Rammstein's 2019 single track Deutschland, with making the video for their comeback offering The Writing on the Wall. Speaking to Kerrang, Dickinson explains, quote, I said to Ron Smallwood, Maiden manager, have you seen the video for Deutschland by Rammstein, whichever way you want to say it? That to me is a groundbreaking video. That's astonishing. Now, I'm not suggesting we do that because we're not Rammstein or Rammstein, whichever way. Like I said, I've heard it both ways. I don't know. I've never talked to the guys for them to clarify that. So maybe we can get one of them on the show when we start doing the 50 million streams.
Oh, there we go.
And be like, hey man, can you clarify this right now?
We could go right to Till Lindemann and ask him.
Yeah, there we go. But think of what we could do that would have the equivalent impact for us. So I wrote storyboard for the vid, tweaked it a little bit, and gave it a happy ending. Well, kind of happy ending. Adam and Eve start again, but with Eddie going, I'll still get you in the end. For the epic animated video, Iron Maiden received the help from 2 former Pixar executives and lifelong Maiden fans, Mark Andrews and Andrew Gordon. The pair are best known for their works on movies such as The Incredibles, Ratatouille, Brave, Monsters, Inc., and Finding Nemo, among others. On the video, Dickinson says, big time players there. Yeah. Dickinson says, quote, I had a pretty clear idea of the concept to accompany the song. And when I met Mark and Andrew on Zoom, it quickly became clear we were all very much on the same wavelength. And this was reinforced with the addition of the director, Nikos, and his young Blink Inc. team. Our weekly team Zoom meetings were usually both highly creative and a lot of fun. I'm very proud of the way the video turned out. It's more like a mini film, really. Knew it was going to work out as soon as Mark brought my treatment to life with his incredible storyboards. I thought we could make something very special together. I think we did, and hope our fans will agree. In fact, it's pretty much created by Maiden fans anyway. Director Nikos says, that's kind of a confusing thing. Live say says, I'm like, well, we quickly found, I like to do this shit on purpose. We quickly found the expertise we wanted, and people were literally throwing themselves at me to work on a Maiden video. We had more than 60 people in 13 countries, from Brazil to France and Romania to the USA, to add something to the clip. And I'd say their love, passion, and understanding of the band shines through every frame. They were a dream team for the producers and myself to manage. The Writing on the Wall is the introductory glimpse at Iron Maiden's return, marking their first release since 2016's single Empire of the Clouds, which we talked about again. There we go. Iron Maiden's 17th studio album, Senjutsu, will arrive September 3rd via Parlophone Records. We're all really excited about the album. We recorded it back in early 2019 during our break in the legacy would maximize our touring, yet still have a long setup period before release to prepare great album artwork and something special as a video, says Dickinson on the upcoming release. Of course, the pandemic delayed things more, so much for the best laid plans, or should that be strategies? The songs are very varied. See, I think we did this shit on purpose, man. And some of them are quite long. There's also one or two songs which sound pretty different to our usual style, and I think Maiden fans will be surprised in a good way, I hope. Pre-orders for Senjutsu have now gone live and include a super deluxe box set full of extra. Metal Hammer, an exclusive tell-all interview with Iron Maiden in an upcoming issue soon as well. So that was from Metal Hammer, but they gave credit to Kerrang in the interview. So there you go.
Nice. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen,
I guess you get that third
hand. Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, I mean, unless we had Bruce Dickinson sitting down here, with us in the studio, which would be the shit, by the way, you're always getting your news at least secondhand. So it is what it is. But if you guys haven't had a chance to see the video for the Writing on the Wall yet, check that out over at YouTube. And I guarantee you, one of us, if not both of us, will both be listening to that new album when it comes out. Yeah. And we will definitely talk about that here on the show when that comes out. I don't think that's like a spoiler alert thing. I think that would obviously be kind of a no-brainer that we would discuss the new Iron Maiden album on this show.
Right.
All right. So yeah, September 3rd can't get here soon enough for that. So
exactly. There's a lot of albums that can't get here soon enough.
Yeah. And September 3rd is actually my wedding anniversary. So Iron Maiden's new album is actually going to come out on my 5th wedding anniversary. So that'll be badass. Another reason to celebrate September 3rd. Not the main reason, but another reason.
Right. All right. So we'll stick with Metal Hammer here. Acclaimed music video director Martin Cahan has died at the age of 74. Cahan passed away on July 18th in Lakewood, New Jersey, following a battle with cancer. He was best known for his work with bands such as Rush, Kiss, Bon Jovi, and Motley Crue, although also made it as a celebrated director in the country music scene as well. Close friend and CEO of Yidstock Ventures, Arthur Levy said in his final years in Lakewood, Cahan never stopped theorizing about country music's gradual downsizing of its promo video output and how he could work his way back into the fold. He was born in New York on April 17, 1947. The hopeful filmmaker began his journey into the industry editing live promotional videos in Canada for Prague Titans Rush with their songs Tom Sawyer, Free Will, and Limelight. Returning home in 1983, his career immediately took off when he was offered the groundbreaking opportunity by Columbia Records to work on Scandal's single Love's Got a Line on You. This marked the first of many big-time projects for Cahan, who would soon become one of the record company's most reliable directors. Shortly after he attained a MTV Video Music Award nomination with video of Ian Hunter's All of the Good Ones Are Taken that very same year. Many of Cahan's projects for the increasingly popular MTV platform solidified his position as one of the industry's most prolific directors, including Kiss's first ever music video featuring the band without makeup for songs Lick It Up and All Hell's Breaking Loose. He also worked on the videos for Bon Jovi's In and Out of Love and She Don't Know Me, Motley Crue's Too Young to Fall in Love, The Firm with Jimmy Page and Paul Rogers' Satisfaction Guaranteed, Scorpions' I'm Leaving You, and many more. So thoughts and prayers go out to that family as well. It seems like we've had a couple sad stories here today. So
yeah, seems like we can't have a week go by where that doesn't happen. But
yeah, I mean either in the new stuff or we're celebrating. Not really celebrating. I guess celebrating the life and birthdays, or
right, exactly.
We're talking about the death and the death, which we're probably going to do later when go through the history notes here. So
right, but it
all
happens.
Right, this one,
it happens.
Yeah. One more from Kareem, and then I'm done. This one was actually leaked by my lovely wife on the Metalheads page on Facebook.
Nice.
So a couple of days ago,
that,
we wish many happy returns to Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction debut on its 34th anniversary. If merely acknowledging the album's birthday online isn't quite enough for you, though, you can mark it by treating yourself to an appetite made by U.S. weed enthusiast Smoke Cartel. For a mere $74.99, the 20-inch tribute to Guns N' Roses and Getting Baked can be yours. Quote, finally, the Guns N' Roses released their official water pipe that every fan should add to their arsenal. This 12-inch Guns N' Roses water pipe is adorned with iconic band artwork. The hexagonal shape of the base offers a modern twist on the traditional beaker style and provides even more stability and water capacity. This gorgeous bong features a diffused downstream and bullet hole ice pinch, which allows for impressive filtration and smooth hits. The piece comes with a matching herb bowl that has a handle that doubles as a roll stopper to keep it safe from drops. These pieces are removable for easy cleaning and replacements. The wide neck features the recognizable GNR pattern and has a black rimmed mouthpiece at the top. Standing 12 inches tall and shipped in a collector's box, this water pipe is a perfect gift for Guns N' Roses fans. If you can peel yourself off the sofa after taking it for a test drive, Guns N' Roses begin touring at the end of the month with Wolfgang Van Halen's Mammoth WBH in support. So there we have it, man. Like if we can't, we talk about like the metal industry getting into so much stuff, but I don't think we've ever done that story where somebody actually had a damn a water bong. Oh man, that's just unreal.
Again, you would have thought that would be something that Kiss would have done first, but
I'm sure Gene Simmons is pissed right now, but
he probably is. Like, son of a bitch! Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god! But that was all the news stories I had this week as well. So,
oh, okay, there you go. You got it.
Yeah, it's on an extension cord. I think it's not what I wanted to do, but it was kind of threw together last night. So,
no, I gotcha. Okay.
I'll fix it once I really want to move all this around anyway. I don't like where I'm sitting or anything really, but
yeah.
And then of course somebody broke my desk chair, so I've been sitting in a folded chair.
Yeah.
From the old wrestling days. So.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
A chair that's probably.
Yeah, it's got a few dents in it.
I was just about to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, some of the memorabilia around here is personable. So.
There you go. That's one of a kind too, though.
Maybe I'll autograph it and give it away at some point. I don't know.
There you go. Hell yeah, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. All right, so we're going to segue on from the current events news into the excuse me, to
metal history.
Yes, this week in metal history. All right. And as always, this week in metal history is brought to you by This Day in Metal over at Twitter and on Facebook. Go check out Metalhead Marv over on his Twitter page or on Facebook. He is more active on Twitter than Facebook. That's where I follow him, is on Twitter. So these are the historical releases from July 17th up to today's date, July 24th. Leading off with the leftovers from last Saturday, July 17th. July 17th of 2007, Nile releases Ithyphallic. Malevolent Creation releases Doomsday X, and Behemoth releases The Apostasy, which debuted at number 149 on the Billboard 200. July 7th, 2012, Tourniquet releases Antiseptic Bloodbath, and Hell Yeah releases Band of Brothers. July 17th, that was July 17th of 2002, not July 7th, sorry. July 17th of 2015, Powerwolf releases Blessed and Possessed, which peaked at number 3 on the German charts. July 17th of 1982, Metallica releases their demo No Life Till Leather. July 17th of 2020, UDO releases We Are One. And July 17th of 1968, Deep Purple releases their debut album, Shades of Deep Purple. The single Hush peaked at number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. Moving ahead to the 18th, July 18th, 2014, Overkill releases White Devil Armory. July 18th, 1994, At the Gates releases Terminal Spirit Disease. July 18th of 1991, BB Steel releases their debut album, On the Edge. And July 18th of 1981, Anthrax is formed in New York City. Moving ahead to the 19th, July 19th of 2019, Sabaton releases The Great War, which peaked at number 42 on the Billboard 200. July 19th, 1984, Razor releases the EP Armed and Dangerous. July 19th of 1993, Quiet Riot releases Terrified. July 19th of 2013, Powerwolf releases Preachers of the Night, which peaked at number 1 on the German charts. July 19th of 1988, I'll say that right in a minute, Rigor Mortis releases their self-titled debut album. July 19th of 1991, Immolation releases their debut album, Dawn of Possession, and Vicious Rumors releases Welcome to the Ball. Moving ahead to the 20th, July 20th, 1986, Juggernaut releases their debut album, Baptism Under Fire. July 20th of 1985, Blitzkrieg releases the EP, Ready for Action. July 20th of 2018, Powerwolf releases The Sacrament of Sin. They liked this week in history. Powerwolf did. That's 3 releases.
They liked July anyway.
Yeah.
They just released one too.
Exactly. So. Yeah. So Powerwolf is a fan. Powerwolf is a fan of July, and Accept is a fan. They're effective January. Yep. Yeah. All right. July 20th of 2018, Powerwolf releases The Sacrament of Sin. July 20th of 2012, Fallen Fucking Angels releases Italian Restaurants. That's weird. July 20th.
I just want to check that out because of the name now. So.
Right. Yeah, me too. July 20th of 1993, Souls at Zero released their self-titled debut album. Moving ahead to the 21st, July 21st, 1971, Black Sabbath releases Master of Reality, which peaked at number 8 on the Billboard 200. July 21st, 1988, Chastain releases The Voice of the Cult. And July 21st of 1990, Chastain releases For Those Who Dare. 7/21 of 1998, Anthrax releases Volume 8, The Threat is Real, which debuted at number 118 on the Billboard 200. July 21st, July 21st, 1987, Exhumer releases Rising from the Sea. Guns N' Roses releases their debut album, Appetite for Destruction, which debuted at number 182 on the Billboard 200 and peaked all the way up at number 1. Dio releases Dream Evil, which peaked at number 43 on the Billboard 200, and Lion releases their debut album, Dangerous Attraction. July 21st, 1984, Stryper releases their debut EP, The Black and Yellow Attack. July 21st of 1982, Loudness releases Devil Soldier. July 21st, 1985, Anthem releases their self-titled debut album. July 21st, 1986, Raven releases the EP Mad. July 21st, 1997, Devin Townsend releases Ocean Machine Biomech, and Annihilator releases Remains. July 21st, 1992, Joe Satriani releases The Extremist, which peaked at number 22 on the Billboard 200. And Metallica, Guns N' Roses, and Faith No More play for over 7.5 hours at the Pontiac Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan for more than 47,000 fans. That would have been a goddamn hell of a show to go see, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
All right, moving. I know, right? I wonder how much that ticket cost. That was probably, let's see, 1992. You're looking at 29 years ago. Let's see, what do you say? At the time, maybe $20? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know what it would be, if you adjust for inflation from 1992 to now. There's no telling. But you're definitely not going to get a 7.5 hour concert now that's not a festival. So let's see. Yeah. All right. Moving ahead to the 22nd, July 22nd, 2014, Fozzy releases Do You Want to Start a War? And Fallujah releases The Flesh Prevails. July 22nd, 1999, Metal Church releases Masterpiece. July 22nd of 2002, Dark Tranquillity releases Damage Done. July 22nd, 1993, Riot releases Nightbreaker. July 22nd, 1997, Creator releases Outcast. July 22nd, 2003, Queensryche releases Tribe, and Superjoint Ritual releases A Lethal Dose of American Hatred. And I actually have an autographed copy of that CD downstairs because I got to meet Superjoint Ritual at Ozfest in 2004. That was fun. July 22nd, 1974, AC/DC releases their debut single, Can I Sit Next to You, Girl? Moving ahead to the 23rd, July 23rd, 1996, Iced Earth releases The Dark Saga, MD45 releases The Craving, and Massacre releases Promise. July 23rd of 2003, Arch Enemy releases Anthems of Rebellion. July 23rd, 2001, Jag Panzer releases Mechanized Warfare. And then moving ahead to today's date, July 24th of 1990, Pantera releases Cowboys from Hell, which peaked at number 117 on the Billboard 200. And July 24th of 2015, Lamb of God releases 7 Sturm und Drang, which peaked at number 3 on the Billboard 200. So those are the historical releases from July 17th to July 24th. And as always, I will probably have some more releases from today's date, July 24th, that I will lead off next week's segment. Over to you, my friend.
All right. So let's go to July 18th, 1978. Def Leppard made their live debut at Westfield School in Sheffield, England, in front of 150 students. Let's see. So that's pretty interesting. The first show's in front of 150 students, not at a live event at some fair or anything. Let's see. July 18, 1991, the first night of the Lollapalooza tour at the Compton Terrace, Phoenix, featuring Living Colour, Susan the Banshees, Jane's Addiction, Nine Inch Nails, Henry Rollins, and the Butthole Surfers. So I'm not sure if that's like the first year that went on or anything, but I know like growing up, I remember hearing a lot about Lollapalooza. I never attended one, but July 18th of 2001, Kiss added another product to their ever-growing merchandising universe, the Kiss Casket. The coffin featured the faces of 4 founding members of the band, the Kiss logo, and the words Kiss Forever. Pantera guitarist Dimebag Darrell was buried in one after he was shot and killed on stage in December of 2004. So that's I actually forgot about that until the story came up. Like, yeah, he did get buried in a Kiss casket. I forgot about that.
Yep. I think both of them did, didn't they? Didn't they both get buried in Kiss caskets?
That could be. I don't remember about Vinny, but I remember the story about Dimebag.
I know Dimebag
about it, but
yeah, I remember Dimebag was like I think the first person to be buried in one.
Yeah.
But I could have swore I read that they were both huge Kiss fans. So I wouldn't have been surprised, but I could have swore I read that somewhere that both of them got buried in Kiss caskets. I don't know. We may have to look that up, but
right. All right. So July 19th, 1974, the Ozark Music Festival was held over 3 days on the Missouri State Fairgrounds in Sedalia, Missouri, one of the largest music festivals ever held. Thus, some estimates have put the crowd count as much as 350,000. Acts who appeared included Bachman Turner Overdrive, Blue Oyster Cult, the Eagles, Marshall Tucker Band, America, the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, Ted Nugent, Leonard Skinner, Joe Walsh, Aerosmith, and Spirit. Man, 350,000, that's a lot of damn people.
Yeah, it is.
I think the one we're going to in September only had 106,000 tickets. So it's going to be 3 times what I experienced there. I don't want no part of it. So
yeah. I mean, hell, I've been to a football game at Michigan Stadium, and that place holds 115.
Yeah, so you can imagine
that's a lot of people.
Yeah, especially in a stadium. So
yeah,
I guess it's different if you're out on an open field somewhere. You can, and if you put 350,000 people there, I guess. But I don't know. Still a little crowded for my taste, but
yeah, that's still a lot of people.
It is, yeah. July 19th, 1976, Deep Purple split up at the end of the UK tour. David Coverdale went on to form Whitesnake. John Lord and Ian Pace formed a band with Tony Ashton. The classic lineup of Blackmore, Gillian, Glover, Lord, and Pace reformed in 1984. Glenn Hughes returned to trapeze, and Tommy Bolin put together his own band, but would die before the end of the year. So, man, it's crazy. Of course, I think David Coverdale come out with the better end of that breakup, but July 19th, 1991, Steven Adler, ex-drummer with Guns N' Roses, filed a suit in Los Angeles County Court alleging that he was fraudulently removed from the group and that the band introduced him to hard drugs. Oh my God! I don't even want to go there with this with that. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm sure somebody held a gun to his head.
Yeah. They just put his face down in a big old thing of cocaine, like on Scarface, and say, "Here, snort this."
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody made you do nothing, dude. Take responsibility for your fuck ups. Sorry.
Yeah.
July 19th, 2010, Ozzy Osbourne and his former Black Sabbath bandmate Tony Iommi settled a long-running legal dispute over the use of the group's name. Ozzy had filed suit against the guitarist in May of 2009, accusing Iommi of falsely proclaiming to be the sole owner of the Black Sabbath name by lodging an application with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. The pair released a joint statement confirming they have settled the dispute amicably, which who knows what that means, especially with Ozzy Osbourne involved.
Yeah, the funny thing is I've always had an issue with, he's a hell of a guitar player. You can't argue that. I've always had a hard time with Tony Iommi as a person. I don't know why. It's just when
Well, I mean,
go ahead.
I was just saying with that you saying that, and then the stories that we've done the past few weeks over Geezer Butler, I think everybody may have been a little uppity up except for Ozzy. So
yeah, well, I mean, I've read Ozzy's autobiography, and he's owned up to the mistakes. He's basically denied nothing, and has owned up to everything. But when he got fired from Black Sabbath, basically Iommi wanted him out, but he made Bill Ward fire him. And then I've always really had a hard time with Tony Iommi as a person, not as a guitar player, like I said, because he's a hell of a guitar player, but just him as a person. I don't know. He just kind of, obviously I don't know him. I don't know him personally, obviously, but just the stuff I've heard, I've just had a hard time with him as a person. Bands break up and guys get fired all the time, but I mean, if you want him out, have balls enough to fire him yourself. Don't have one of the other guys do it. So I've always been, more of an Ozzy fan than a Black Sabbath fan.
So with you saying it like that makes me think that, okay, then you should have done it, since you're claiming you're the sole owner of the band. I mean,
right. Yeah.
That's true. So, I mean, in all fairness, with what you said and what's going on, then Bill Ward should have been awarded the name, and everybody else should have just took the back seat, I guess.
Right. Yeah. So that's just my two. It's just kind of like my 2 cents, but
right.
But like you said, it's just seems a little douchey of Tony Iommi.
And just know that with that story, Black Sabbath has been brought up in every segment of the show today. So.
Pretty goddamn much. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
July 20th, 1968, Iron Butterfly's second album, Inagata da Vida, entered the U.S. album chart for the first time. The album contained a 17-minute title track that filled the second side of the LP, which went on to sell over 4 million copies in the U.S. alone. Wow, 4 million copies in 68? That's freaking ridiculous. Ridiculous.
I mean, that's good for even now, but back then it was huge.
July 20th, 2017, Linkin Park lead singer Chester Bennington died at age 41. His body was found at a private home. Bennington apparently hanged himself. The singer was said to be close to Soundgarden vocalist Chris Cornell, who took his own life in May of the same year. Formed in 1996, Linkin Park has sold more than 70 million albums worldwide and won 2 Grammy Awards. So Yeah. Well, I should have put in there apparent. Like I said, they said apparently hanged himself. They didn't say he did. So, and I'm going to agree with that. He allegedly hung himself, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
We could do a whole damn 2-hour segment on that probably. But
probably, yeah.
Especially if we wound up with Dan in here too, you know, because it would definitely take a political turn, I'm sure. So,
you're probably right.
Hey, now,
there he is.
You said politics.
Yeah, yeah. We summoned him. We summoned him.
I'm going back to my cave.
July 21st, 1987, Guns N' Roses released their debut album on Geffen Records, Appetite for Destruction, featured the singles Welcome to the Jungle, Sweet Child of Mine, and Paradise City. The album now has worldwide sales in excess of 28 million, 18 million of which are in the U.S., making it the best-selling debut album of all time there. Yep. That's crazy. Yeah. I didn't even realize that was that they had that moniker there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
July 21st, 2007, Sharon Osbourne's music mogul father, Don Arden, died in Los Angeles nursing home at the age of 81. Dubbed the Al Capone of pop for his uncompromising business practices, he steered Small Faces, Black Sabbath, and ELO to stardom. July 22nd, 2015, new research found that a person's taste in music may offer insight into the way in which they think. A study found empathetic people preferred more mellow, low-energy music, while those who were systemizers, people who seek to analyze patterns in the world, enjoyed punk, heavy metal, and more complex music overall. Researchers at Cambridge University in England had recruited 4,000 participants and put them through a series of different tests to come up with those results. So again, you know, we don't have to keep telling these guys this. Heavy metal's the best. So
yeah. See, that's the funny thing is, I mean, we say it all the time, and but we have the science to back it up.
Right. Yeah, you can't argue with science. That's what they say.
Yeah. Follow the science. Follow the science.
Right. And here's a story that I thought about you when I pulled this up. July 24th, 1982, Survivor started a 6-week run at #1 on the U.S. singles chart with Eye of the Tiger, taken from the film Rocky III. Also #1 in the U.K. Survivor won the Grammy Award for Best Rock Performance for the song as well. So I know you're a big Rocky and Eye of the Tiger fan there. So.
Yeah, I am. Absolutely am. For my money, that entire franchise, the whole Rocky franchise has got some of the best original soundtrack songs, at least that I've heard. I mean, I haven't seen, obviously I haven't seen every movie ever made, but like I say, if you ask me, out of all of the movie franchises I've seen, yes, even Star Wars and all those, I mean, those are original scores, and I get that, but you're talking about actual, just, lyricized songs and all that stuff, I'll take the Rocky franchise over all of them.
So for me, Resident Evil has to be in there somewhere, because they got a lot of good music on those soundtracks.
They absolutely do. Yeah, they absolutely do.
All right. Well, that was my this week in metal history. So we're going to move on to our
it was a good
special
week.
Yeah. Man, yeah. So we do our little special segment here that we've been doing for the past, I guess we've been doing it ever since we started doing this thing. But last couple of weeks we've been doing, we've been doing the 80s power ballads and 90s power ballads. We decided to carry it on over into the 2000s this week, which was kind of hard for me to come up with 10. I ain't even gonna lie.
I was just about to say the same thing.
And it was pretty rough.
It was tough.
So I don't know if we should try to do 2010 to 2019 next week.
Yeah,
I guess we can try it.
I was gonna suggest that maybe we stop here at the aughts, the 2000s at the aughts. But because up until last night, and I was telling my wife this, I was stuck at 4 like all week. And I don't know why, but then I was stuck at 4, and then
I wasn't much better.
Yeah, I was racking my brain, and I even told her, I was like, I don't know why the hell I'm having such a hard time with this, because like I got stuck at 4 almost all week, and I actually, before the night was over, I actually ended up with 12, and then I knocked 2 off the list to get it back down to 10. But at one point, I got it up to 12, and I was like, and I was kicking myself because by the time I got to 12, I was like, how the hell did I forget this song, and how the hell did I forget that song? But so I did make it.
I'm probably going to do the same thing when you start going through your list. I'm like, oh shit.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean,
some of mine are borderline ballad. I mean, some of mine could be borderline ballad.
Well, and actually, that's what I did, the same thing too. Like I say, I ended up at 12, and then once I got to 12, there were a couple I was like, okay, that one was close anyway, so I marked that one off the list. And then, there was another one that I marked off that I do like, but got trumped by another one. So, so I do have 10, but man, it took all week. It took into last night to get to 10. So I'm not even 100% sure I want to try the teens.
Well, let's try it. Let's try it and then get together on Monday or Tuesday and see where we're at. How about that?
Okay. All right. Okay, we can do that.
I know one off the top of my head, so I at least got one.
Well, I have one right off the top of my head too, because I thought I was going to add it to last night's list, but it actually ended up being newer than I thought. So I do have one already. So yeah, getting to 10 may be a little tough, but I would be willing to try.
We'll play it by ear. We'll see.
I'd be willing to try it. But you go ahead and go first this week.
All right. Yeah, I'll go ahead and go first. So my 10, not in no particular order. We just wanted to jot down 10 that we enjoy listening to. I'll start out with Metallica, That Never Comes, come from Death Magnetic in 2008. Godsmack Serenity from Faceless in 2003. I have Korn, Alone I Break from the Untouchables in 2002, which that one's kind of borderline. I mean, it can't be it's kind of ballady.
Well, the funny thing is with heavy metal, basically after the 80s, because I mean the power ballad began in the well, maybe not even necessarily began in the 80s, but they became more popular in the 80s, and the 80s ballads were the actual, more often than not, were the actual love songs. And as the power ballad kind of progressed, the overall music style stayed the same, but not necessarily the content. And getting to this point into the 2000s or even into the 20 teens, basically I put an asterisk by power ballads basically over the last 20 years, because they may not necessarily be love songs, the definition of a ballad. So the panty droppers, right? Exactly, Crowley. So basically what I do is I kind of put an asterisk by it. So it may not be a love song, but I kind of refer to it as the overall musical composition. That's kind of the way I do it. So so yeah, the Korn song, the one that you just referenced, I would kind of consider it a ballad for them.
Right, exactly. That's kind of what I looked. That's kind of when I went down the list or whatever. I started doing bands, and I'm like, I can't remember if that song was in, this era or not. So I had to go through the bands and the songs and like list the songs and say, oh yeah, it was or it wasn't. So, but yeah. So then I had to go back and listen to them. It's like, man, is that really ballady though? And of course, I've listened to a couple songs. I'm like, yeah, that's definitely not ballady. And then some of them were like, yeah, that could pass as a ballad. So, anyway, my fourth one was Avenged Sevenfold, Dear God, from the Avenged Sevenfold album in 2007. Skillet, Don't Wake Me, from Awake in 2009. Slipknot, Snuff, All Hope Is Gone in 2008. Five Finger Death Punch, Far From Home, War Is the Answer from 2009. Judas Priest, Angel from Angel of Retribution in 2005. So this is one of my favorite songs, period, from Non-Point. It's actually a cover too, but it's still ballady to me. In the Air Tonight, from Recoil in 2004. And then I rounded it out with Disturbed with the Darkness from the Believe album in 2002.
Yeah. That Non-Point cover of In the Air Tonight is the best cover of that song, hands down.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
It sure as hell blows the In This Moment cover out of the
oh my god. Yeah. some bands just
not
don't need
even
a cover.
close.
Yeah. Maria Brink's got
not,
that voice though, where she's just, I mean, it's so original that it should only be heard from an original standpoint. So.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing is like the only cover I really like from In This Moment. Damn, another net. The only cover I really like from In This Moment is their cover of Call Me by Blondie, but that was so early in their career.
Mm-hmm.
But I digress. I did my list. I think I had like 3 doubles. I think I had 3 of the same ones as you, but
oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so not too bad. That's usually about how many we get. We usually have about 3 that cross over. Again, mine are in no particular order either. So I have Bother from Stone Sour 2002. I also had Snuff from Slipknot of 2008. I had Will My Soul Ever Rest in Peace from Stratovarius in 2001. I have Believe in Nothing by Nevermore from 2000. I had Dear God from Avenged Sevenfold in 2007 and Far From Home from Five Finger Death Punch in 2009. So I had those 2 songs also. Mm-hmm. And then I had So by Static X from 2003. I had World So Cold by Mudvayne from 2002. I had Always Will Be by Hammerfall from 2000 and Safe Home by Anthrax from 2003. So
nice.
So those were the 10 that I ended up having. So that was my list.
Awesome.
It was a difficult list. It was a difficult list to make, but it was still fun.
I still feel like we could come up with 10 from 2010 to 2019. Just I feel like we could probably come up with 4 or 5 finger songs between that time period.
You're probably right. Yeah, you're probably right. So yeah, and that's the thing is I try hard not to put multiple songs by the same artist, but sometimes you just can't help it. I mean, I've had Nothing Else Matters and The Unforgiven on the same list. I think 3 times so far.
Yeah. we may have to break down.
I do try.
We may have to break down and include Nickelback. I don't know, man.
Oh no! You trying to get us canceled? What's wrong with you?
Oh come on, man! They're not that.
I just kid. I do know that one of the guys in Nickelback really wants to do a metal album, but the rest of the guys won't let him. So
right, yeah, it's actually Chad Kroger's brother. So
that's right. Yeah, that's who it was. Yeah, he really wants to do a metal album. So
yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of like we were talking about with the Jesse Leach thing. Like he don't really like metalcore, but that's what got you where you are. So.
Yeah, but that's a little bit different because
it is a little bit different
because Chad Kroger's brother wants to do a metal album, but he's not shitting on he's not coming out and shitting on the style of music that made him famous. I mean, Jesse Leach is basically starting to shit on it sounds like he's trying to bite the hand that feeds him. So it's kind of a little backwards, But we did address that. We did address that last week too. So
yeah,
but that's neither here nor there.
Let's move into the album reviews.
Yes, and, let's do that.
There's going to be a surprise in here for you on this one. I'm going to tell you.
Really?
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, don't keep me in suspense. I'm going to make you go first with the album.
I'm not going to. I'm going to go on out here and go first. So
I'm going to make you do that.
The first album I listened to was from Craven Idol. It was the Forked Tongues album. Pull that back up here. I had it pulled up, and it was 7. It was only 7 songs, but it was 41 minutes and 23 seconds long. So it has some lengthy material there.
About a 6-minute average.
Yeah. Members of the band, they got some of those crazy names, with all made up names. The guitarist and vocalist, Emulator of Sadistic Wrath. I don't know his real name, but that's what he goes by. So
his real name is probably like Jim.
Yeah, something simple. Then we have a Suspiral on bass. Then we have Heretic Blades on drums, and then Ob- Obscinator on guitars. So there we go. So, this is actually their third full length album. They were formed in 2005 in London, England. Um, they're a black thrash metal band. They so the thing that kills me is it's just one of those things again. It's like it was great in a sense of the music thing, and then it sounded like they put it's almost like they were performing live and dude was in backstage singing. Like you couldn't hardly make out anything he was singing. Yeah. And I don't know if this is like a new thing that people are going to try to get a different sound or something, but I don't dig it, man. It's horrible to me. Definitely did not enjoy that part of it at all.
So was it just another one of those examples of the mix not being right, or was it?
I think so. It is, yeah, because a lot of the album was just the music was louder than he was. And, nothing bad about the vocals. It's just that you couldn't, it didn't mix right. Yeah.
Yeah. So you trying to like lean in a little bit to try to be like, all right, what is he saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's almost like I was, like I was saying last week. It's like they were singing in a coffee can. It's like,
yeah. I'm not exactly sure what the deal is with that either. It can't. You wouldn't think that they would be doing that on purpose, because
right.
You figure they would be listening to it in post production and be like, all right, that doesn't sound right. Let's make an adjustment.
Exactly, and they're just like, well, we don't have the money to do that or something. I don't know how that works because I've never made an album.
Yeah, I don't either. But you think it would be just like adjusting one dial on the board. I'm like, all right, turn the vocals up or turn the guitars down, something, but yeah, it can be a detractor, and it can actually make a good album, sound less so, and it can be disappointing.
Yeah, I'm almost at the point where I'm almost tired of being the what am I trying to say? I don't know. Just trying to be a good guy with the shit. Really, I'm just tired of giving you all these freebies and getting by with in the middle type shit. And I'm just like, no, this shit sucked, man. It was like I'm at the point where I'm just gonna start saying it. It sucked, and you shouldn't even deserve a star, or a horn, I guess, at this point.
Yeah.
But I mean, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, because even one horn is giving it.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, that's the thing though, is the music is great, so I can't really like shit on that part of it. It was pretty damn good as far as the music goes. So I mean, I'm gonna stay in the middle just because of that with this one. If it was as bad as the one last week, I definitely was too generous with that one last week. I should have gave that shit like a 1.5, but
1.5.
Yeah, but I'm gonna give this one a 2.5. Just because, I mean, like I said, if you could hear the music, and if they would pick that up a little bit with the mix, I think it would have been a lot better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I may try to give that one a listen, because I mean, if the music's good, it may be at least worth a listen. All of the issue with the mix aside.
I'm actually going to go back and listen to some of their, because this is their third one. I want to go back and listen to their first two and see if it's just like the same thing. You know what I mean? Because I'm at the point where I want to know if this is like your sound that you're trying to go for, or if you just have a horrible ass mixer.
Mm-hmm. And see, that's the thing, is it does make you think if the rest of a band's catalog does have the similar sound.
Yeah. All right, moving on. I also listened to Godslave. Had the album Positive Aggressive. Go back to it real quick. Give you the deets on that one. It was a 10-song, 43-minute, 19-second album. This was their sixth full-length album. So looks like they've been around since 2007. Another one of our German bands there. So from the
The
thrash metal
Germans.
scene. Yeah, the Germans. They
The
put out some
Germans.
damn good shit too. So,
yeah, whether you can understand it or not, they put out
oh,
some
actually,
good stuff over there.
they put it out in English. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, the current lineup here is guitarist is just says Bernie, or another one of those things that they do over there, I guess.
What's his name? He just goes by Bernie.
He just goes by Bernie, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love that.
So the slave grunter is on vocals.
Slave grunter?
Yeah. Tobias
nice.
Huwig is on drums. Mika is on bass. And Manny is on guitars. So they're all on a first name basis with each other.
So you got Bernie, Mika, and Manny.
Yeah, they're all
nice.
They all walk into a bar. Tell me if you've heard this one.
a German, and a German walk into a bar.
Right. So what's so crazy is like this band actually started out as the band Slavery in 2000. So 2000 to 2007 they were known as Slavery, and then I guess they had to change it for probably some sensitive ass motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're called God Slave, which that's okay if you're a slave to God, I guess, but not to anybody else.
Yeah. All right.
But anyway, that's a topic for another show, I guess.
Yeah, yes, it is.
Anyway, so I ain't even gonna lie, dude. This album was so fucking good, dude. I mean,
really?
I was like, yeah, this probably is the best album I've listened to since Angelus Rapture. So yeah, you're definitely gonna have to listen to it, dude. It's very Exodus. I wanted to say that just to see if I could pull it off, but yeah, so very, very like old school Exodus, Anthrax vibe from it. Man, it was so freaking good. And just how good it is, I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say 4.5 horns on this bad boy. So
that's probably that's the highest rating you've given out so far this year.
No, I've actually
tied for the highest
with Angelus, with Angelus Hapatrita,
yeah.
So definitely, like if I did a top 10 today, this would definitely be in probably in the top 3 at least. So.
Nice. Hell yeah, man! I'm
glad I run across it. Yeah, I'm definitely glad I run across it. I'm definitely going to go back and check out some older stuff from them too. So.
Yeah. So Godslave, what album of theirs is this? Not the name of the album. Like
it's
how many? Sixth album? Okay, yeah,
yep.
All right. So they've had a relatively decent career so far. Good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because that was actually one of the albums that I was gonna download, but I just never got around to it. So I will make sure that I download that album and check it out. Unfortunately, I was actually only able to get all the way through with one. I do have a couple others downloaded that I just haven't gotten to yet. What are they?
Oh, there's one here too. Let me real quick. The Capstan's new release. Just don't bother.
Don't bother. Okay.
Yeah, don't even bother with it. So
all right, so we're gonna give that a don't bother. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
The one that I did, the one that I was able to download it and listen to all the way through, I was able to listen to Influence Denied by Eradicator. Right. They are also from Germany. They are from Lennestadt, Germany. They were formed in 2004. They are a thrash metal band. This is their 5th full-length studio album. Their debut album, The Atomic Blast, came out in 2009. Madness Is My Name came out in 2012. Slavery came out in 2015. And we promise slavery is not a theme. This is just coincidental.
Right.
Into Oblivion came out in 2018, and Influence Denied came out yesterday. The current lineup exists of Sebastian Zopp, who is on bass, on vocals. You have Jan-Peter Stober on drums, Sebastian Stober on guitars and lead vocals, and you have Robert Weid. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's Germany, so it's probably Weid, also on guitars. Influence Denied is 10 songs in length at 47 minutes and 4 seconds, and I I enjoyed this album quite a bit. I'm going to give this 3.5 horns out of 4. I would give it 4 horns if it weren't for the fact that the vocal styling of Sebastian Stober. I mean, he does sing clean, which is what I prefer. The only problem I had with his vocal style is he's kind of got this monotone scream that he does throughout the entire album. So it's not necessarily like, a turn off or a deal breaker or anything, but there really wasn't a whole lot of diversity in the way he sings. He does sing clean, and his vocal style does mix well with the thrash music, the up tempo guitar riffs and the double bass that I prefer, a lot of gallopy double bass that I prefer, a lot of nice shreddy guitar solos, all that good stuff. So the music was really, really good. It was heavy, it was fast. Like I say, the drums hit hard. It was really good. And, the vocal style does mix well. It's just kind of the lack of, he doesn't really have a whole lot of range. That's the only kind of, downside or detraction from the whole thing. So it's definitely worth a listen. I probably will keep this and listen to it again. It's just, I would have liked a little bit more dynamic in the vocals in his vocal range, but he sings better than I can. I'll say that. So,
right.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely a 3.5 out of 5. Definitely worth listening to. The other album that I did download but never got to listen to, so I will try to listen to that during the week and post a write up during the week is Red Brick City, the new album by Heavy Water. That's a band I've never heard of before. And then last night I did download Yngwie Malmsteen's new album Parabellum. So that's one that I plan on listening to during the week. So if I get a chance to get all the way through that, I will post a write up on that as well at the Metalheads Unite Facebook page. So I was able to do that this past week too. There were a couple albums that I got through after the show, and I posted a couple of write-ups on those if anyone wants to check those out. So, but unfortunately I only got through the one album this week, so I'll try to
from what I hear,
a couple more.
From what I hear, Yngwie Malmsteen will just tell you how good it is. You ain't got to bother. So.
Oh, right. Yngwie Malmsteen, he would probably give his album all the stars. He would give himself all the stars, all the horns. If he came on the show, it would say, that he made a better album than Beyonce. He would probably say that. So,
yeah,
wow. Fuck you, Kanye.
Yeah, I don't know what Crowley's talking about. When are we going to bring up King Diamond?
I don't know either. I'm not sure. Maybe he could elaborate.
Yeah,
I'm sure he'd be more than willing to elaborate. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure. All right, so real quick, we are, we're officially out of time. I know the boss would let us go longer if we wanted to, but
he knows.
All right, okay, there you go. But we'll go ahead and talk about the releases coming up for July 30th of 2021, which would be this coming Friday. Leading off with Axel Rudy Pell with Diamonds Unlocked 2, Big Train with Common Ground. And then Captain Chunk with Gone Are the Good Days.
Oh my God.
That's the name of the group.
Baby
Ruth. Yeah. We have that's what I said, setting booty traps. D. Snyder with Leave a Scar. That's one that I'll definitely be checking out.
Oh yes.
We have the 500 with A World on Fire. We have Geezer Butler with Manipulations of the Mind, the complete collection box set. And probably comes complete with Geezer Butler's Invented Devil Horns.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We have The Ghost Inside, Rise from the Ashes, live at the Shrine. We have Hexorcist with Evil Reaping Death. We have King Woman with Celestial Blues. We have Lant Lost with Wildhund. I'm guessing that's probably German. We have Locke Vostok with Opus Ferox. Boy. We have Lucer with LA Collection. We have Marta Gabriel with Metal Queens. We have 2 re-releases from OSI. We have Free and Office of Strategic Influence. We have Praise the Plague with the Obsidian Gate. We have Seether with the Wasteland, the Purgatory EP. We have Swallow the Sun with 20 Years of Gloom, Beauty, and Despair, live in Helsinki. We have Tragedy with Disco Balls to the Wall. And we have a re-release from Vader, De Profundis, will be coming out this coming Friday. So those are the new releases for this coming Friday, July 30th, 2021.
Awesome. There's a couple on there I'm looking forward to. So
yeah, same.
Seems like there's a lot to try to get through that we don't know too. So that's always a good thing too.
Yeah, but definitely be checking out Dee Snider's new one. The couple of the 2 singles that came out ahead of the release were both fantastic. So we'll check those out.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a couple of new to us albums on here that I plan on checking out too. So yeah, look forward to those.
So man, that kind of went by.
Yeah, I mean,
it's always too fast for me. I could probably do this all day if
I probably
afford to do that. But
the same. I probably could just sit here and talk all day too. Yeah, 2 hours. 2 hours goes by really fucking quick.
Yeah. All right. So we're just wanted to reach. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, but another good show. Some good interactions in the chat room again. Crowley came by and kept everything light like he normally does, and thankfully that's what she said, right? And thankfully he came by, and also thankfully Nazem came by again. Unfortunately, he couldn't stay, but he's over. He's quite a few hours ahead of us.
Right?
Yeah, he's over in Turkey right now, so he's quite a few hours ahead of us. I think he said he had to. He said he had to take care of dinner, so he's.
He's quite ahead of us.
Yeah, so Nazem is almost to Sunday already, so he's living in the future. So, but we appreciate everybody coming by who came by today. It's been a hell of a show. We appreciate that.
Yeah, and appreciate the new subscribers too. That's always awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I just want to. We had a lot of for Black and 90% of my. Oh my god, that's probably on Twitch there, Crowley. We don't control that part, so
we don't.
That's why you got to get on. You got to get over here on the Haps train, man, so we can, and our guys can kind of control a lot of that. But
of course, the boss would probably say, "Of course, the boss would say, don't bother coming over to Haps because we're not going to be here long."
Yeah. Well, Haps just don't, like he said, Haps just don't like him. So we're gonna have a celebrity death match with Dan versus Haps.
Are you kidding? That wouldn't be a fair fight. That'd be like Mike Tyson fighting me. God,
we'd have to put like Haps and Facious Book and
the more I attack them, the more they promote us. We're on their trending front page now. So all I had to do is tell them off a few thousand times, and they'll still censor us, but they'll promote us more. It's a wonderful thing. It's a very abusive relationship.
Whether it's like a Ike and Tina relationship over here.
We'll just have to make sure we tell Haps to tell everybody that they walked into a door.
Yeah, there you go.
Or we just start off every single show just telling them off. I'll record different promos every week for every show and just, shitting all over them. And you just play that, you're good. That's it. They'll treat you great.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, guys.
Jason could help Dan. Jason could help you cut a wrestling promo because he knows how to do those.
I've been
I think I do all right though.
Oh, you do great. I just got the pink box saying my internet connection's unstable.
You see?
No, you didn't. Yeah, I've gotten that a couple times during the show.
You see that?
You would think with all the money they're making, they could upgrade that, But, yeah.
No.
Well, that's what Dan was saying on Thursday.
I'm gonna pocket that money instead of making my product better. So,
beta.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like I work for Amazon, so I work for a big company, and like our inside internet is like the fucking worst. I'm just like, dude, you work. You own like one of the biggest companies in the world, surely you can get good internet.
Yeah, you would figure working.
I think he could. They just don't want to buy it from Google.
Yeah, you would figure that working for Amazon, that your phone wouldn't end up at the website you wanted before you knew you wanted to be there.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
It's like, how did you know I wanted to go to fucking Blabbermouth? How did you know that?
Nothing wrong with the pink box. Oh my God, Crowley.
There is nothing wrong with the pink box. That's a great point, Crowley. Yeah. Only when it's on hacks, because that means they're trying to shut you down.
Right. Yeah, bad pink box.
Yeah. Bad.
Naughty, bad.
Tainted. Crotch crickets and all.
Oh.
Hey, everybody, we're glad you stopped by with us today, and I hope you enjoyed the show. And we will be back with more next week on new stuff and new history that we didn't know. So,
yep, we absolutely will.
With that being said, you guys, y'all keep those devil horns held high, and y'all jump in that pit anytime you can. And we will see you guys next week.
Yes, sir. Everybody have a great week. Dan, you're always invited.
Thank you, gents. Thank you.
But your friend can't come,
right?
Oh, yeah. We always know you're lurking, but you can turn that microphone on anytime you want, man.
I try not to interfere, but sometimes I can't help myself.
Hey,
so,
like I said,
you're invited, but your friend can't come.
That's right.
All right. Hey, gentlemen, great show.
Thanks, everybody.
Engage and rage. This is Voice of the People, USA Radio.